On January 1st, 2019, something big happened.
Starting today, the federal government requires every hospital to list prices online.
It's a response to many Americans being hit with sticker shock from the size of their hospital bills.
This IV bag costs less than $1, but she was charged $137.
$109,000.
Incredibly expensive IV antibiotic therapy.
See heart x-rays. That'll be $33,000.
I can't afford that.
No problem, we'll just garnish your wages.
The idea is that by showing prices, it'll encourage patients to be better healthcare shoppers. Now you can compare the price of an item at this hospital compared to the same item at that hospital. I love it, but a number of people don't, and there's two major criticisms. The first one is summed up from Robert Pear, a writer from the New York Times. That data online is incomprehensible. It's unusable by patients. It is nearly impossible for consumers to compare prices. He's got a point. I mean, look at this scroll bar. Is it even moving? And what do these codes mean? The next criticism is summarized in this tweet from renowned economist Martin Gaynor. Requiring hospitals to post their list prices, charges, isn't useful and may be misleading. What we need is information on actual prices and for consumers what their own out-of-pocket costs will be. If this is at all confusing for you, here, let's see if this helps out. The hospital or medical office sets their own charge or list price, sometimes called a retail price, and it's stored in a document called the charge master. If your medical office is in network with your insurance company, then you get a discount. And that creates what's called an adjusted price or a negotiated price. That amount is what gets split up between an out-of-pocket amount and an amount that the insurance pays. But it technically comes out of your pocket too, because it's made out of a pool of the monthly premiums that you pay for your private insurance. Martin Gaynor's point is really an important one. Because of the decisions you have to make now, they're going to be much more impacted by your out-of-pocket charges. But although he's making an important point, he's missing the big point. This part of how the charges are figured out have been wrapped in secrecy up until January of this year. The incentive for the hospital or medical office is that they can charge whatever they want.
Let's make one Tylenol $37. 3 stitches, $2,200.
For every extra dollar that a medical office charges, on average, they're able to squeeze an extra 15 cents out of a private insurance company. What's the incentive for an insurance company to be swept up in this secrecy? Well, the more expensive a medical service is, then the more you think you need insurance. So it keeps them in the loop and keeps this cycle going. This is a map of Nashville. In this office here, you can negotiate a clear, transparent price for an MRI of $500. But if you happen to go 2 minutes down the road and get an MRI from this hospital here, well, that one carries a charge of $6,644.99. Wait, is that right? That's like 13 times the price. Why would anyone set that type of charge? Okay, I'm back. Those types of inflated prices are just frustrating. And even if you think you have insurance, it can still hurt you, especially if you are out of network or if you don't have insurance.
You can get billed charge master prices if you go out of network. And anything can be out of network. The hospital you go to, the equipment used to treat you, even the doctors you see.
Aero specialist, out of network, I'm very expensive.
Hospitals make a ton of money overcharging out-of-network patients. It's a real cash cow.
And that's why I think it's so important that now these charges and prices are made available. Because once we start shining a light on these overinflated prices, then the market can start to take over. And it's not just MRIs that are under these market pressures, dropping from thousands of dollars in charges down to hundreds, but it's also big surgeries like hip replacements, typically over $100,000 charged, now being offered in some places for $20,000. And even open heart surgeries, which is almost guaranteed to be over $100,000, will soon be offered by some of the most prolific heart surgeons in the world for nearly $2,500. And that's why I think it's such a great thing that after January 1st, the hospital charges became available. Now it's time for the next step.